One of my favorite things to do is to find out how all of my hobbies connect to each other. If I was to introduce someone who's into skateboarding to someone who is interested in hip hop, I would get them to talk about Tyler the Creator, BLP Kosher, or Lil Nar, because these are all rappers that skateboard. And my two favorite genres is hip hop and metal. And the link between these two is very diverse, from Lil Uzi Vert showing up to a Lorna Shore gig.
You also were in the pit at a Lorna Shore gig.
Lorna Shore is dope. They're really good.
Yeah, who introduced you to Lorna Shore?
Lorna Shore introduced me to Lorna Shore.
To Post Malone randomly shouting out Infant Annihilator.
This is such a great gift.
And it's signed by Dickie Allen, the vocalist.
Wow, how'd you do that?
I hit him up and he sent it to you.
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dickie Allen. Fuck you. Fuck you. Thanks, Dickie. You're the best in the world.
But this is a video specifically about Ken Carson and his metal aesthetic. Ken Carson is an Atlanta rapper known for his like rage type beats, like futuristic kind of sound with a like punk aesthetic. Ken Carson has been in some controversy for his new pentagram tattoo, which apparently isn't even real now. It's like they're not really sure if it's real or not. There was like an IG live afterwards that showed that it wasn't real. I don't think anyone was surprised by the tattoo, and they believed it was real because he's known for wearing the upside down crosses and having satanic imagery in his music. The Opium record label that Ken Carson is signed to is known for the dark aesthetics that they use. They wear Vehemonts, Balenciaga, and Rick Owens. But there's something different about Ken Carson's dark aesthetic. If you're someone who's not into metal or extreme metal, I'll just put it as simply as this. Back in the 80s, there was a metal arms race to see who could make the heaviest genre, like the fastest beats, and just to sound as crazy as possible. Eventually, it went from thrash metal to death metal to brutal death metal, and if you keep going to the bottom, you get shit like slam metal, which sounds like this. When you get to this level of metal, the artwork and the aesthetics all take up a more gory look to them, which is to be expected with music that's supposed to sound dark. I've always been into extreme metal, my favourite bands being Infant Annihilator, Abominable Putridity, and Rings of Saturn. Now in metal, when the aesthetics and the visuals get darker, I don't really mind that. I think that's kind of cool, but I like it in a more surrealistic way, or if it's like more artsy, it's not like realistic drawings or something that's really gory. Ken Carson, on the other hand, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that guy. I seen him wearing a certain band t-shirt, which will be brought up later, and I was sort of confused. And then I went on to his subreddit, and then I realized how fucking insane the kind of band t-shirts that he wears is. So let's talk about it. So I'll start off tame, which is surprising to say. But the first few pictures I have Ken Carson wearing Devourment, Esophagus, Visceral Disgorge, and Fetush Rump. To be honest, these ones aren't that bad. As someone who's into extreme metal, it's kind of cool to see someone wearing like slam metal bands. You never get to see that outside, or at least where I'm from in Ireland, you don't get to see that shit. And then the next one, on the other hand, I don't know why Ken Carson wears this, and I don't know who the fuck would wear this stuff. I have to mention two different genres here: gore grind and porn grind. Yeah, there's a genre called that. Gore grind is like they'll use realistic gore images and stuff like that, real disgusting looking shit, like in their imagery. And porn grind is the same thing, but with an obvious disgusting element to it, like gore grind, but just in a sexual way. Yeah. And Ken Carson wears that, so let's talk about it. The first one I have him wearing is Rectal Purulence, which is surprising to say is the tamest one. The next one is Fetal Deformity, which it's basically like an autopsy photo, and that's putting it nicely. Erotic Diarrhea Fantasy. For my own sanity, that's all I'm leaving at that. That's all I'm mentioning about that one. And the final one, Waco Jesus. Why does Ken Carson wear this shit? Like, I understand, like, you know, dark aesthetics and like wearing like extreme metal is kind of cool. Like, I mean, I have plenty of like an extreme metal t-shirts, but this stuff is just, weird. I don't get it. I just want to know why the fuck he wears this shit. Like, what possesses him to put this stuff on? From what I can see, he never actually made like a slam like music, and he's never even talked about any of these bands. Like, from what I've researched, there's no video of him specifically talking about these bands. So I just want to know why he does it, because to me, like, this is, I don't know, I just think it's too fucking far. Like, I would never be caught dead wearing that shit. But you know, if I ever got a chance to ask him, or if he saw this, I know what he would think about it. You be scared? You should have stayed the fuck home.